Hey y'all, it's Ryan, and I just wanted to record a quick little tutorial video to go over Anki and how you use this stuff, because I've gotten a couple questions from people and I want to make sure you have a good visual way to see how to study Anki and study for the bar from a law student's perspective, because a lot of people use this for like med school, a lot of people use this to learn languages. And to shout out for Debbie for a second, Anki is a Japanese word and it means to remember, for memorization, and it's a very good space repetition tool. So you may go, hey Ryan, you sent me this awesome deck, but there's only like 20 cards. Well, that's because we have to adjust our settings, and so I adjusted mine already just to get y'all to see how to change it. So the first thing you do is you got to import your deck. So you go down here to import file, and you should have gotten the file from me or from an email or a doc. I'm going to actually put the link to the file on the description of this video, so you can check that out. So after you import the file, you should see it. Then you click this gear right here. So you left click, right click, doesn't really matter. You go to options, and it should pull up your default rules. And so the biggest thing is you want to check this bottom number, maximum reviews a day, and you change that to the maximum, and you change this number to the maximum. And when you hit save, it should post, oh my goodness, this is a lot of cards. Well, we have a lot to learn, so that's a good thing. And so to get started, you may want to check your interval down here. You can tinker with them. I'm not 100% sure on how this works, but essentially you will see once you do it how Anki works. So let's go to agency. The agency deck, there's only 40 cards in it, which is a good thing. So the Anki deck I showed you has all the cards done. There's already something called closing, which you'll see how that works. And the biggest thing with closing is that it is a way for you to not see something that you want to know the answer to. And the issue with closing, though, is that you have to see it once to figure out what the blank is. And so how you do it is you see these four buttons at the bottom. So you have, again, hard, good, and easy, and they correspond with the level of time in between you'll see this card again. So if you didn't know anything on here, you would press again. And after we wait a minute, the next time I click to the other card, that same card will pop up. And similarly, if I didn't know this one and I was like, man, this is hard, I will then press hard and I'll see it in 6 minutes, and so on. And then this is 10 minutes, and this one will be 2 days, okay? And the biggest thing for Anki is that the algorithm that it uses understands that if you have two hards in a row, the next time you press good, it will be 10 minutes. Or if you do a good and then a good on that same card, the next time you press good, it will show 1 day. And so I honestly, how everyone studies differently, so please do not take this as like anything, but I'm not a lecture person. I'm not a reader person. I study by this like kinesthetic reading process, and so this is how I got through law school, was by using Anki and stuff. And so I will sit here for hours just gooding, harding, againin things over and over and over until it's second nature for me to spit back what the answer to it is, and then I like to apply that through practice questions. So I will literally sit here just going good, again, 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 seeing this over and over and over until I get it down. And you can see from my decks, I've done this a lot on family law and contracts. I'm starting to do this on property, although I'm not there yet. So if you go to a deck that I've already done, you'll notice that the intervals are pretty long, which is not a great thing, because I really would want this only to be 2 days out, because I want to study this multiple times before I take the bar. So essentially this part of the video is like this refresher on like how to use it, what are the options. And some of you might go, okay, that's great. I like these questions. I don't love the answers. So how do I change some of these decks? So let me show you how to do that. So if I want to check out crim law, and this is the majority minority. Well, what if I don't like the fact that they use the word retreat? I don't know what other word you could put there, but essentially you can go down here to this edit feature, and you can edit the exact language on the card. I'm not going to do that because I like the language, but you would see that pop up. And so you can edit the card's real in, and you might go, what are these weird squiggly brackets? What is the C2? What is these semicolons, blah, 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 blah? Well, the answer is this is the close feature of Anki. And so that is what causes you to see these weird blanks. And if you notice on the close feature, it's pretty simple once you get it. It's all you have to do is you literally just do squiggly, squiggly, C1, dot, dot, and then you do this. And then this will now be closed, which is a little, I would not say advanced, it's a little weird to learn. But once you close this, this will now become closed. So the next time I see this card, it will have that deletion or insertion. And the biggest thing I want to show now is after you learn how to edit a card is what if I go, man, there's a great rule. I wish I had it in the Anki deck. I don't see it. Well, all you have to do is add a card. And so when you press the add feature, it's a long explanation of how this all works, but the default one that you got with the pack is something called Printify, which is why it's purple and nice and fun to look at. So you just choose this, and you would find the text you would want to do. I'm going to try to study something from property because that is the bane of my existence right now. I hope y'all are having better time with it than I am. So say I wanted to get something called the right to subjacent support. This is a fun one. So I want to close this. So what I would do is, and you might say, Ryan, how did you do that? Well, on a Windows, you would do Control, hold down Shift, and then you would press the C key. This is the way to shortcut it. So you Control, highlight, Shift, C, and it automatically close. The important thing is that the number right here corresponds with this, so it will only close a section at the time. So if I want to do close one on both these things, then both these things will be deleted at the same time when it shows me the next card. However, if I wanted to do another card and have these things showing, but this not showing, I would close it too. And what if I wanted to close two at the after? So change this to after. Okay, so if I add this card, bear with me, you'll see. And let me find that card. Browse. I think this would be property, and I'm gonna try to find this. Sorry, I should have pulled this up. Okay, well, I cannot find it, but as I am finding it, I will just basically tell y'all that it will look like this. Basically what I put into the thing, and it should pop up here. You can play around with it if you want to make your own cards. You can even make your own deck. If I want to do, maybe this is what I should do, trial deck. So we're going to do a trial deck, and we're going to add a card. And we're going to petrify, do this. We're going to copy paste, and we're going to just not do that. Sorry. Okay. So remember, it is Control Shift C, and we're going to do Control Shift C. And if I add this card, and I go back to this deck, I have two cards. But wait, Ryan, you only made one card. You're right, because the first one will be close 1, and the second one will be close 2. And so you can basically see from this how you can play around with it to get it working. But the most important thing is to change your settings, figure out how to make cards, figure out how to change cards, and just sit here for hours and study cards. And I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And hope y'all have a great day and good luck studying for the bar. Because I'll be honest with y'all, it sucks.